Okay, so you will need a bowl that has been thrown that is getting close to leather hard. You're gonna trim off this excess weight. So you should look and see in the center how thick that is. So what you can trim off here. You will need some clay out of the bucket, and you are gonna center this on your wheel. So using the lines with no bat, you are gonna center it on top of those circles. So I'm gonna do that and then I'll show you from above. So using the rings on the wheel head, you're gonna put that in as center as you can. You'll turn your wheel on. Make sure it is stopped. You're going to try to center that inside of these lines. Once you do that, you will get your needle point, and you're going to make your tight to your body, chairs lifted up. You're gonna make a little line with your needle point. So you're touching at 3 o'clock and letting it spin through. Now, what you want to do is try to get it in the center, meaning like there's even thickness the whole way around the edge. If it's not even, like for example, there's more on this side than there is this side, you scoot it a little bit to the side that is less, and you try again. And you see if that is more even. In this case, it is more even. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to center. Or I'm sorry, trim. So once you've got it, you figured out with your needle point, you'll roll some wet clay and you're gonna hold down onto your pot and push the clay down and around so it holds it tight to the wheel head. I usually do about 3 sides, meaning here, here, and then I'll go over here. You can leave a little bit of space. You want to be really careful to hold on to the pot. That way you don't accidentally move it when you are trying to put the clay on. Okay, so you will need a little bit of water. I need to go grab some really quickly. Not much, just a little bit. And you will need your loop tools. You might want different angled ones for whatever you're doing. Sometimes I like these smaller versions. And you'll need a sponge. I also like to have a rib to finish at the end. So I'm gonna take and wet the top of my, the base of my pot to soften that up and get rid of those lines that I just created. Okay, now I'm going to identify with my needle point where my foot is gonna be and where the edge, what I'm cutting off, okay? So for example, I'm going to take and mark right here, and then I'm also gonna mark right here. And I'll cut this off and I'll cut this off. So I'll show you that. So again, you're touching at 3 o'clock. with your needle point. And then you're leaving a little bit of space to see how wide you want your foot to be. You're touching inward a little bit at 3 o'clock. So right now I'm gonna trim, so this will become my foot. I'm gonna cut this out and cut that off. So this is where I use my loop tools. So I'm gonna start with my loop. I'm gonna start with my square edged loop, and I'm gonna push it down. Making little ribbons of clay. This is what your clay should look like. So I'm gonna start forming my pot. Defining that edge. So you can start to see the foot is being created there. You can start to see the edge of the foot. I'm then going to go from the outside, right here, of this circle inward and back out. So this will go away and this will stay raised. Sometimes I like to have like a little brush to brush that away. Just a little dry brush. And you can tap to see how, listen to see how close you are getting to the center. I'm going to change tools to this one. And I'm gonna push down and drag towards 4 o'clock. Oops. Straight edge. I use this little guy. Just get off any of those last little bits. I also want mine to be a little bit round instead of sharp. So I'm going to round that edge. All right, so there you can see what the foot is shaping up to look like. I'm gonna then take my rib and compress my edges. looks like it's a little uneven, but try to fix that up. There we go. Okay, so that is how you trim a pot, and then you carefully release your little bits. Make sure it sits steady on your table. Tap the rim, and you're all set with your trimmed vessel. Don't forget to put your name and class period on the bottom.